Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I figured as it comes to wrestling, why not this one? British wrestler, the days of world of sport. That being the legendary Pat Roach. He also, starred in films as well. Now Pat Roach, as we know, was born in 1937 and sadly to say passed away in 2004, aged 67. And I like Pat Roach, you know what I mean? It was the days of wrestling, British wrestling. And everyone knows British wrestling, it was slightly different than American wrestling. Like back in them days, you had rounds, a bit like you do with boxing, you had rounds. So let's say someone pins you down, you got the referee going 1, 2, 3, do all that. Then you'd have another round, and then you have another round. Pat Roach was known for doing that. And through his later career, he went into TV, let's say, with the well-known show A Fugitive Saying Pet. Free to Say Pet, it was a popular series of 1982. Now, a lot of people also know Pat Roach for being the villain, played in two roles in the classic Raiders of the Lost Ark with Harrison Ford. You might remember him playing the Dipsy fella who fights with him in the bar. Then Harrison Ford is in, he says that line, Risty, and the main villain being told says that line, shoot 'em, Paul. And you might remember him also in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the guy with the bald head, who Indy had the fight with, and then the Tapera finishes him off. That was in Raiders of the Lost Ark, again, Pat Roach. Then in 1981, same year, he appeared in Death of the Titans. He played one of the gods. I also liked him in that, you know what I mean? I also liked him, and I do remember him playing in the Bond villain in Never Say Never Again. Remember the scene in Sean Connery's fighting his big guy, having a big fight, and then he falls, not doing dirty minded, he falls piss in his face and gets the better of him. Again, Pat Roach, who funny enough was still wrestling back in 1983. Again in 1984, he made it big in 1984, being a big muscly Indian guy in the film Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Date role there. So he played in, as you know, the big Indian guy. I do know in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade he was going to play a German guy. And again, there's going to be a lot of scenes with him in it, but sadly to say some of the scenes were deleted out. Why? I don't know. It's a time the same. I would have loved to see them scenes. Then, remember that he was in two Arnold Schwarzenegger films. He played in Job the Destroyer. He was in Job the Destroyer. He played like a monster in it. And I do remember him playing in. Bear with me. That's my fault. I do remember him playing in Red Sonler. You see in Red Sonler where he says to Red Sonler, I believe you're going to cut my belly. And, the epic scene with Red Sonler. Again, that was Pat Roach. So there, Pat Roach, he was very good at playing these roles. He was very good at playing villainly roles and playing villains. Whether it be Raiders, whether it be the Temple of Doom, whether it be the two Arnold Schwarzenegger films, let's say like Job the Destroyer, Red Sonler, Death of the Titans, one of my favourite films with him in it. So it's been like a lot of films, Pat Roach. There's been loads of films, whether it be action, whether it be adventure. And like I say, he was in the Bond movie Never Say Never Again. So all these days, you remember him as a wrestler. The days of British wrestling. And it was a date there that day, it was well known for that era. And as we know, the TV show was Free to Say Pet. He was very popular in that, but lasted a few years, like through, I say the late 80s to the early 90s. Then Pat Roach, his eyes died down a bit, he was getting older. So his career started to die down, couldn't do wrestling anymore. And it started the same. I'm saying because I always liked Pat Roach. I always thought he was an icon, he was good. You didn't see why they always had him playing filmy roles. There's a bit of me what would have loved to see him play maybe a hero. Instead of him playing a film like in Never Say Never Again or Raiders or Temple of Doom as that big Indian fellow. Maybe have him play a hero, but we never got to see that. And as you know, in 2004 he sadly passed away. But it's not a tribute to Pat Roach, one of my favourite actors, one of my favourite wrestlers from the days of British wrestling. That's Pat Roach. But into them, be smart, be safe. See you later.